Welcome to the second day of Kartik Nabadwip Mandala Parikram. Today we will be visiting two islands, Simantadwip and Rudradwip, which represents Shravanam or hearing and Sakhyam. Some of the important places of Simantadwip which we will be visiting today is our famous Jagannath temple, the Simantini temple, the place of Koladwip Sridhar and Madan Gopal temple in Belpukur, the home of Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur. And in Rudradwip, we will be visiting Nidaya Ghat. From that place, Sriman Mahaprabhu left to Katwa to take sannyas. Hare Krishna.
Stire kanakaruchire lila shikare
Vasan prasadanta sahaja balapadre navadina Sura seva pasarado Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume Jagannatha Swami
Hare Krishna. In order to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sriman Mahaprabhu, all the holy places, all the holy rivers, they reside in Nabadwip Dham. Right now, we are in Jagannath temple, Rajapur Jagannath temple, which falls in Simantadwip, and this particular place is non-different from Jagannath Puri. So coming here, taking darshan of Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra, offering your obeisances, doing some service, taking darshan, is same as going to Jagannath Puri and taking their darshan and serving them. Devotees from all over the world, they all come here to offer their respects, to do some service for Lord Jagannath here, which is non-different from the Jagannath in Puri. We will hear about the glories of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra from His Janani Vas Prabhu. Thank you.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Garatha Shiva Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here we are in Simantadwip. Simantadwip, when Lord Nityananda Prabhu was taking Sri Jiva on the Parikrama of Nabadwip, they came to this place, Simantadwip, and Lord Nityananda Prabhu said here, this place is non-different than Jagannath Puri. Jagannath resides here eternally. Sometimes he becomes manifested and sometimes he's unmanifested, but he resides here eternally. So there is histories of how Lord Jagannath came, two or three stories of his appearance here. But I'll tell some history since we took the saviour of Lord Jagannath in, I believe it was 1970, 78 or something. Anyway, the Jagannath temple, Jagannath deities were there, and everything was really neglected, the temple and the deities, and practically no worship was going on. And the owner, Mr. Praktik Chatterjee, he asked that, would you like to take the saviour of Jagannath, because I have no sons, I only have daughters. So he asked Sri Chaitanya Maharaj on the Parikrama. So he announced that Mr. Chatterjee is offering the temple service of Jagannath. What do we say? What are we going to have? Yes, yes, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. All the devotees are ecstatic to hear that Lord Jagannath has come. He's accepting service from ISKCON. So when we started to make an offering from Jagannath, there was no facility there at all. So we said we'll make when we cook Radha Madhava's bhoga, we'll make a little bit extra and we'll take it up to Jagannath temple. So at least he gets one meal a day until we get some facility there. So for a few days we had started. And then Jayapataka Maharaj, he said, listen, don't do any worship yet because we haven't got all the legalities are not sorted out. And if we start something and then we stop it again, it won't be good for Jagannath. All these years, nothing's been happening. So don't do any worship. So we said, okay, Maharaj, we won't do it. He didn't know already for a few days, we've been actually making the offering. So anyway, after a couple of days, the Pujari had a dream and Lord Jagannath appeared in his dream and he said that, no, the Pujari in the dream, he went to make the offering in the temple, but when he went there, the deities were gone. And then he saw Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra, they were running across the fields. So he's calling, hey, Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra, come back, we've got you, come back, come back. They said, no, we're not going back there, they don't give us any food here. We're going down to Radha Madhava's temple to get some nice bhoga there. So we told Jayapataka Maharaj, the Pujari had this astonishing dream. And he said, I didn't know you already started worshipping. He said, immediately start again. Start, don't stop. So then we started up the worship regularly. And one time the Pujari went to make the offering and in Jagannath Mandir, but he forgot to bring the tulsi leaves. So he thought, Krishna, he doesn't like to accept anything without tulsi leaves, so what shall I do? If I go and get some tulsi leaves now, anything could happen because that temple was really broken down and there were kids who were playing there and the dogs. They may come in and spoil the offering and anything may happen. So he prayed to Lord Jagannath, please forgive. We forgot to bring the tulsi leaf. Please kindly accept anyway the bhoga for your pleasure. So then the Pujari made the plate, opened the tiffin, he made the plate of bhoga, went outside and chanted all his mantras, and when he came back inside to do the arati, he saw the pile of rice was there, and on top of the rice, sticking like that, the whole branch of tulsi leaves. Jagannath Swami ki jai. So there was one sannyasi, he was going out preaching, and he said at the Jagannath temple that you please let me leave these Shalagram Shila and Govardhan Shila here while I go out preaching, because it'll be difficult for me for traveling with me. So, okay, Maharaj, so we put the deities on the altar. After a couple of days, Lord Jagannath appeared to his Pujari, and he said that, ever since this Giriraj has been here, he's eating all of the prasadam. He said he doesn't even wait for the Pujari to make the offering. He said as soon as he brings it in, he starts to eat it. He's very quick, he grabs it. He's very greedy, and he takes all the sweets first. You have to do something about this, Giriraj. So we told Jaivataka Maharaj, we got a complaint from Lord Jagannath about Giriraj. So he said, oh, then we should make Giriraj his own plate. So ever since that time, we've offered his own plate of bhoga, and then there was no complaint anymore. But still today he gets that plate. Jagannath Swami ki jai. There was one time, it was Rath Yatra, and we were distributing prasadam at the temple. And one boy came, he gave me some prasadam and give me some for my friend outside. His friend was rickshaw, they were both rickshaw drivers. His friend was a Muslim. And so his friend said, here, take the prasad of Jagannath. So the Muslim, he looked, he said, how it can become prasad, our religion says, how can God become a person? How can he be a person? So we don't accept this. This is the most idle word. I don't accept that. So he threw the prasadam on the floor. Well, that night, Lord Balaram appeared in his dream, and he started to strangle him. He was throttling him, and he was beating him. And the boy was crying and screaming for mercy, have mercy, have mercy. Balaram said, I'll give you mercy. This is my brother's mercy. Mahaprasad, and you threw it on the ground. He gave you his mercy. Now you're asking for mercy. The way to worship my brother is by offering him Mahaprasad. That's the system. In Nabadwip, we worship the Lord by chanting Hare Krishna. In Vrindavan, you worship the Lord by taking the dust of the Dham on your head. In Jagannath Puri, you worship Jagannath by his Mahaprasad. And you had that Mahaprasad and you threw it on the ground. I will kill you, I will kill you, I will. And Subhadra was there and she was laughing. Yes, yes, kill him, kill him. Then Jagannath was there, he's also laughing. No, no, don't kill him, don't kill him. So the next morning the Muslim boy went to the temple and he bought some fruit and some paisa and some incense and the flour and some sweet, and he said, can you please offer to Lord Jagannath? So the Pujari said that you're a Muslim, you're not coming to puja before, why you are coming? So then he told him the whole story, what had happened the previous night. And then he said, now do you have any of that prasadam left? I would really want to honor the Mahaprasad of Jagannath, please give. Jagannath Swami ki jai. So there, behind the altar, there's the beds of the small Jagannath you can see. They will do the Shayan Seva, the sleeping service. So every night we lay them down in the bed. So the Pujari, he used to pick them up from the altar like this and take them and put them in their bed. So then he had a dream, and Lord Jagannath appeared, and he said that when you put us to bed, you pick us up like this, and you put your fingers in our eyes. These are kind of mochi fingers, cursing fingers. But you hold us like this, and put your fingers in our eyes. You should not do that. So the Pujari woke up and said, that's an astonishing dream. I will not do it again. But after some time he forgot. And he picked the deities up to take them into the bed. And the deities said, I told you not to use these two fingers. I told you not to use these two fingers. Spoke to him personally when he was holding him. I told you not to use these two fingers. Immediately put the Jagannath down and placed him in the bed. When he told me that story, the Pujari, I said, how Lord Jagannath can say that you said that Lord Jagannath said, don't touch me with these two fingers, but he doesn't have fingers. So how can you say that? Don't touch? He said he has. Pujaris, he has fingers, he has. I've seen he has fingers. It was indication that when Jagannath appears, he appears as Krishna. One time he was dressing Jagannath with a necklace, 1, 2, 3 necklace, and it fell down. So he picked it up again and put it on. Again it fell down. He picked it up again and put it on, and again it fell off. He picked it up again, and then Lord Jagannath said, "Don't you understand? 3 is enough. I don't want another one." Person he spoke to his Pujari. Another time he spoke to him, and he said that Jagannath said that other Pujari who was helping, sometimes he's not very careful. Sometimes when he's dressing, he sticks pin. He said, "Look on my arm, under my arm." So he lifted up Jagannath's chadar, and there was a spot of blood on Jagannath's arm. Jagannath Swami ki Pratimatu Minahi Shakshat Vajanjanandana. This is the Brahmana and the Gopal Leela. He walked from Vrindavan to Puri. You are not a statue. You are directly the son of Nanda Maharaj. So this is who we are dealing with the deity, especially the deity of Jagannath, very famous deity, known as Daru Brahman, wooden. Daru is wood, but Daru Brahman, he is Brahman, wooden Brahman. So this is the Lord's mercy. He's appearing in forms that we can see. Prabhupada says you cannot see. You cannot see Krishna, you cannot see spirit. You can see matter, you can see earth, water, fire, air. So Krishna kindly appears in these different forms, although they seem to be made of brass and wood and paint, etc., and stone. So this is the kindness of Krishna. He's appearing in the form you can see, but it doesn't mean he is brass or he is stone. He is still directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Pujari should be careful how they deal with the Lord in understanding that he is a person, he's always present. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Simantadwip ki jai. Hare Krishna, welcome to the island of Simantadwip. The island of represents hearing in the 9 devotional processes. So we're going to hear about some wonderful pastimes of Lord Jagannath who resides here eternally. This place is not different from Sri Kshetra, Nilchal, Jagannath Puri. It's an interesting history there that during the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Mahaprabhu took sannyas and went to live in Puri for the 18 years, then the Bengal devotees would go every Chaturmas when he was there. Rainy season, they would walk there, spend time in Puri, see Rath Yatra, etc. One devotee became blind. Obviously he couldn't go because that time they went by foot. And when all the devotees left, he was so heartbroken that he was thinking, I never see Mahaprabhu, I never see Jagannath again. What is the use of living? So he decided, when I take my bath tomorrow in the Ganga, I will not come back. The Lord appeared in his dream and said, my dear devotee, don't think like this. Actually, there's no need to go to Puri because where you're living, this place is not different from Puri. And I eternally reside here. Sometimes I manifest, sometimes unmanifest. But now I desire once again to manifest my pastime here. So tomorrow you take your bath and I will come to you and I will touch your head in the form of a log. So that log you take to this this village, he told, and then there's my bhakta there. He's a carpenter. Tell him to cut my form of Jagannath. And in the village, there's a big neem tree. You can cut my brother and sister also. So that happened. Miracle happened. The log touched him, and his sight was restored immediately. So he's ecstatic. He called all of the villagers. The carpenter had disease, leprosy, so he refused to carve the deity, but nobody else could do it, wouldn't work. And so eventually the devotees made him do it. You have to do it. This is Jagannath's request that you do it. No one else can do it. And another miracle happened while he was actually carving the deity, so his leprosy was disappearing. And by the time he finished the deity, then his leprosy had also gone. So like 2 miracles before, the Lord had appeared. After some time, when that devotee went back to Godhead, then his family was looking after the deity, but the worship was declined a lot. So Jagannath came in a dream and told everyone should leave this place. There's an epidemic is coming, cholera. So everyone should go. Everyone should leave this place, otherwise everyone will die. The epidemic came. One of the family died, so everyone moved. But the other family, although Jagannath told them to go, they thought we'll depend on Jagannath and stay here. They all died, so nobody owned the temple anymore. Very soon it began to fall down around the deities and got covered with jungle. So how long it was like that, we don't really know, but about 1958, 60 odd years ago, then Jagannath again desired to manifest his pastimes. So he did that through one, there was one tantric there, Jamie. Now the ownership came under another Brahmin, Pratik Chatterjee. But they knew the temple was there, but no one would go there because there was lots of snakes and other wild animals. But Jagannath, through this other man, Jaimini Ghosh, he used to go. He was a kind of mystic. He wasn't a pure Vaishnava. He used to worship Kali, but he had some shakti, and he used to go into this trance bar and speak as if Jagannath was speaking to him through him. So one day he did that. He went to Pratik Chatterjee's house and started, he was wearing saffron, although he's a guest, and he was wearing all these garlands, and he said, "It's not good enough. How you worship me, it's not good enough. I demand you worship me properly." Because from his house, Jagadish would worship his own deities, and he would just turn and offer towards the temple, although no one was going there because it was covered with jungles. But they knew the deities were there. So he was saying, "You got to worship me properly, I demand." So he took it seriously, and then they renovated the temple, cleared it a little bit, started some very, very small worship, just offering some sweet and some fruit sometime. Some devotees came from Puri, Vaishnavas, and while they were to see the birthplace of Mahaprabhu, and while they were here, they asked if there's any temples of Jagannath, so they were directed there. They worshipped Lord Jagannath. At night, Jagannath came in the dream of one of those Puri-Bashis and said, "Here, they don't worship us very nicely, not like in Puri." They said, "They're very poor here, and we never get rice. We never get a proper food. So if you could arrange Chapan Bhog for us, we'd be very satisfied with you. And Snan Yatra is coming soon, so if you can make it for then, we'll be satisfied." So they did that. So he used to get, so then that remained the system. Once a year, Jagannath would get rice, that was it. Then in, I think about 1978, that was, the temple was given to ISKCON. They told us a lot of stories of Jagannath, the previous owners, Pratik Chatterjee. He told one time during the Snan Yatra, because that's a big festival, they have, distribute prasadam, and it was, and his wife, she was sick, Nimala, her name was, and she couldn't come. So she was really upset. She couldn't come to the festival, and it was pouring of rain that day also. So after the Snan Yatra had finished and the offering closed, then he came back and he bought some Mahaprasad for his wife, who was suffering with a heavy fever. Then as he came to his house, he saw big muddy footprints going in his room. And they went to the bedroom. He went there and Nimala was laying there and she had a big footprint, muddy footprint on her back. But the fever had gone and she was fine. He was saying Jagannath, she was so much desirous to see Jagannath, she couldn't come, so Jagannath came to her and blessed her, so she immediately recovered. Another time there was another epidemic in that area, and Jagannath appeared in a dream to the Pujari, and he told him of a medicine that could cure this. So he told everyone in the morning. They were excited. They gathered all the ingredients. One ingredient they couldn't find. It wasn't a local thing. So, but later on in the morning, one boy brought up some herb to brunch, and he was asking for the Pujari, and his wife said, he's not here, he'll be back soon. So he said, oh, just give him this. So when Pratik came back, he said, his wife showed him, he said, that's it. He said, that's the very herb we want. Who gave it? She said, I don't know. Little boy, I never saw him before. He's not from this, but he's a very nice boy, very beautiful boy. So then they made that, and they cured the epidemic. Story by one of Srila Prabhupada's godbrothers. He was there, and he saw that the Pujari was, this is before we had the temple, the Pujari was bringing the plate, the boga, and it wasn't covered. And as he walked in the temple, something fell from the door onto the boga. He saw these things because he's been a Pujari since he was like 11 years old in the jog pit. So he knows the standards. So he said, I didn't say anything because it's a private temple. He said, but then after the arti, then a little old lady came up in white and she started to chastise the Pujari. You have to be more careful. You're not covering the boga. There's animals around they can see, and something fell on you. Don't see these things. You should be careful. And he said, I was amazed because she wasn't there. He said, I was the only one there. He said, so you never know who's around in the in the Dham, what kind of special devotees they are there. Another amazing story was there was a guard up there. His name is Prahlad. He's a local. So he used to guard at night. He was sitting up a tree because that place is in a beautiful mango grove. Because there's snakes around, so he was sitting in a tree at night. And then he saw one person coming at nighttime, late at night. So he was surprised. He's walking through the forest mango orchards at night. And he passed below him. He said, I didn't say anything, but I could see he was a gentleman, the way he was dressed, and I could smell the perfume, hair oil. Anyway, he went to the temple. He said, and after a little while, I heard a kirtan. He said, and I saw some light coming. I could smell incense. He said, and the kirtan started, and then it was a big kirtan was going on, and ladies were ululating, and then it calmed down again, and then it all went quiet. And he said the temple was locked. So his idea is that the devatas were also coming to see Lord Jagannath in Sri Nabadwip Dham. Another devotee he had some business in the local city, Krishnanagar. He was on his way back, driving back, and he felt he needed to take darshan of Jagannath, so he told the driver to drive to the temple. When he got there, the Pujari was just locking the door. It was 1 p.m. So the arati and everything was finished, and that's the time he closed. So he said, I didn't like to ask him to open up again. He already put the deities to sleep. So he asked, any chance of darshan? So the Pujari said, yeah, you come 4 o'clock. Said, oh, no, man. So then the Pujari left. He said, but I was trying to look through the cracks in the door because the old temple was really, really broken down, you know. So he said, I was trying to look through, I couldn't see. I was trying to wedge the door apart. He said, I was trying to open the windows. They had wooden windows. They're locked. 10, 15 minutes I was trying. I was even laying on the floor trying to look underneath the, the gap on the floor. I could see some little sparkles, but I couldn't. He said, I was really disappointed because he says it's unusual for me to feel so much bhakti I was feeling. I really wanted to see Jagannath. So I was really disappointed. Then he said, then I walked away, then I heard a sound. I looked round and the window was swinging open. He said, that window was locked, I already checked. Anyway, running back and the window was open, the sun was shining in, the Jagannath Baladev giving a nice darshan. Jagannath Swami ki jai. And one family were living here, Sadhana Siddhi and his family were they were staying up there looking after the temple, and they had their son, Dalim, at that time his name was Dalim. He was a naughty boy, very young, so he went to the temple one day, no one there. So then he saw Subhadra had a very nice ornament, brooch. So he thought, I'd like that. So he looked around, no one around, so then he went to take it. His mother told us the story. So he come running to his mother crying, he was hysterical. He said, what happened, what happened? He said, he was hysterical. He was hysterical, so she had to calm him down. He said, well, I went to the temple and I saw this nice brooch on Lady Subhadra. He said, I was just going to take it. He said, then Balaram swung his arm, knocked me out of the temple. She says, you're mad. No, he did. So when we constructed the new temple, every day one of the workers used to take home one marble slab. He's going to make I guess he'd make a patio in his jute house or something. Anyway, one day he comes back with his bullock cart with all his marble, with straw between his teeth, and he goes to the devotee who was in charge and says, please forgive me, I made a big mistake. I said, what's going on? He said, actually, I've been stealing your marbles. He said, but last night Balaram came in my dream, he was very angry. He said, why are you stealing my brother's marble? Immediately take it back, otherwise I will destroy you and your whole family. Do you hear me? Immediately. And another time some students came one evening. They said, we heard a lot about these deities, they're very mystical, but it was evening time. They said, there was only one candle burning in there. Didn't have electric at that time, or it was load shedding. So they were disappointed, we can't see anything, one little candle. So he was just the Pujari was just starting the arti, Sunday arti. So they were, let's go. So they left. When he offered the lamp, Panchapradeep, and then he put it down, then the flame started to grow and grow and grow and grow. A big, brilliant light. So he called his boys, come back, come back. They all come running back. Big, nice darshan for them. Jagannath Swami ki. Another time, that same guard, they live there, they all know Jagannath very well. He's unpredictable. So on Balaram Jayanti, he was there, and he got a pot of prasadam from Jagannath, from Mahaprasad from Baladev. And he sat down, but because he's doing night guard, he was very tired. It was afternoon, so then he fell asleep. When he woke up a little while later, and he saw the pot was empty upside down, so he knew what happened. A dog had come and taken it. So he thought, oh my God, what's Jagannath going to do? I know something's going to happen, because they know Jagannath. Sure enough, that night he's doing his night guard, he's dozing off, sleeping on the side of the temple. Then Jagannath comes up. Jagannath climbs out the window, he's dreaming. Picks him up, throws him on the ground and starts beating him. He said, my eyes were bulging. He said, it was going on for ages, like 7 minutes. I could hardly breathe, and I was saying, please, please, have mercy, have mercy. So Jagannath said, how can I have mercy? He said, you know, you get I don't give mercy directly, I give it to my devotees. And Balaram's my greatest devotee. My mercy comes through him. He said, and he gave you that mercy in the form of his prasad. So then he said, then he was very angry and beat him, and I said, please, please, please stop. Then Subhadra came. She tried to pull him off. And she said, Dada, what are you doing? He's a devotee. He's a devotee. Don't be so harsh. No, no, he's a great offender. Then I said, then Balaram came out and pulled him off. I said, no, it's okay. So he said, Jagannath was angry, and he said, okay. He said, you're lucky this time. He said, but don't let this thing happen again. He said, and also you're our guard. Then he proceeded to give him 10 instructions. Some he wouldn't tell us. He said they're mostly personal, but other things like, you know, there's no one should take anything from here, steal anything, not even one brick they shouldn't take. You know, the young couples, they shouldn't do any flirting and hanky-panky around it. He gave him 10 instructions. So Jagannath's very famous as an active Lord. They call him Dada here, the locals, Big Brother. So, however we worship him, Big Brother, Big Father, Big Lover. Jagannath Swami ki, Rajapur ki jai. Kartik Parikrama ki jai. Hago Premanandi.
right now we are in Simantadwip, sitting in front of Sriman Mahaprabhu and Mother Parvati. Bhaktivinoda Thakur very beautifully explains this particular pastime in Nabadwip Dham Mahatmya. He explains how in Satya Yuga, one time Lord Shiva, totally immersed, meditating upon how in the age of Kali Sriman Mahaprabhu would appear and freely distribute love of Godhead without any discrimination. Thinking about the beautiful form of the Lord and His associates, and thinking about how fortunate the people of age of Kali they are, about the magnanimous nature of Sriman Mahaprabhu, Lord Shiva began to dance in ecstasy, calling out the name of Lord Gauranga. Lord Shiva was dancing with so much enthusiasm that the whole mountain, Kailash mountain, began to shake. Lord Shiva was dancing, crying, rolling on the ground for a long time. Mother Parvati was actually stunned, even though she is aware of Lord Shiva's nature, the true nature of Lord Shiva. He is totally devoted to Lord Krishna, always immersed in ecstatic love of Godhead. But seeing how her husband was dancing and crying, calling out the name of Gauranga, Mother Parvati was taken aback. She was a bit surprised because he has never heard this name Gauranga. So after some time, when Lord Shiva calmed down, Parvati Devi approached her husband and she said, Keba se Gauranga Dev balaha amare. My dear husband, please tell me, who is this Lord Gauranga that you are chanting? I have heard so many names, so many mantras, but I realize se sob janilo matra jiver janjal. So many mantras the living entities chant and hear, but I know those are all impediments. But simply by hearing the name of Lord Gauranga, my heart is totally melted. Sunya Gauranga Nam Gole Mor Mon. I'm totally enchanted. Then Lord Shiva began to glorify Sriman Mahaprabhu, how the Lord will appear at the age of Kali and freely distribute love of Godhead to everyone, describing His beauty. Then Lord Shiva said, I am not sure about you, but Mayapur antar bhage Janudvip tire Gauranga bhojiba ami rahiba kutire. I will build a small hermitage on the bank of the Ganga, in an inner house, in the compound of Sriman Mahaprabhu's residence in Mayapur. I will reside there and see the beautiful pastime of Mahaprabhu. Hearing this, Mother Parvati Devi came to this island and she worshipped Gauranga wholeheartedly. She began to pray to the Lord to appear. Being pleased, Sriman Mahaprabhu appeared in front of Mother Parvati. Upon seeing the beauty of the Lord, Mother Parvati was totally stunned. She began to crying in ecstatic love of Godhead. Nibarite narenetra anandasrudhar. She was crying profusely in ecstasy. Seeing her devotion, Mahaprabhu was very pleased and asked, "What benediction do you want? I will fulfill those desires." Very interesting what benediction Mother Parvati asked the Lord. Mother Parvati asked, "My Lord, let me understand the glories of your devotees and let me make no more offenses to your devotees." And the second benediction she asked is that if she could see the beautiful Nabadwip pastime, Mahaprabhu fulfilled that desire of Mother Parvati. Before the Lord left, Mother Parvati took the dust of the Lord's lotus feet and put it, this place is called Simanta for the ladies. So Mother Parvati took the dust of the Lord's lotus feet and she put it in this place. So because of that, this island is called Simantadwip. Previously it was known as Simulia. So after that pastime, then this place is known as Simantadwip. To remember that pastime, ISKCON has built a beautiful temple with the permission of the JVC body, Srimad Mahaprabhu and Simantini Devi. She is none other than Mother Parvati, better half of Lord Shiva. She plays a very, very important role in the Dham, just like her husband, Lord Shiva. So very, very fortunate that we are here. We seek her blessings. Just like she asked the Lord to bless her, that she does not make any offenses to the devotees, that she understands the glories of the devotees. So we can ask her for that benediction, that we may get that quality not to criticize other devotees and try to understand the glories of the devotees. If somehow or other we can manage that, then it will be very easy to enter into Mahaprabhu's pastime. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga, 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 Haribo.
Shambho, 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 Shambho.
গৌরাঙ্গ করুণ করতি নাহিনো জানে মোসাম পতিতা প্রভু নাহি ত্রিভুবনে Dante e soiamo di mandire. Jodi dayana koribe patita dekhiya. Jodi dayana koribe patita dekhiya. Patita pavana namo ki se dagiya. Patita pavana namo ki se dagiya.
Hare Krishna, we are in the house of Koladwip Sridhar, also known as Bisram Sthan. Koladwip Sridhar is one of Mahaprabhu's most intimate associate. Before Mahaprabhu took sannyas, the preparation that he accepted before leaving Nabadwip, it was a vegetable given by Koladwip Sridhar to Sriman Mahaprabhu. Out of love for Koladwip Sridhar, Mahaprabhu took that preparation made by his mother and left. This place is also known as Bisram Sthan, means a resting place for Mahaprabhu. Throughout the day, Mahaprabhu would perform so many wonderful pastimes and kirtan throughout Nabadwip. Then he would come here and rest. So very, very happy and fortunate that we are able to come to this place, and we'll hear the glories about this place from His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminete Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Desatari. Hare Krishna. So we are here at Koladwip Sridhar's place. Koladwip Sridhar is very unique character in Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Mahaprabhu came here to deliver everybody, and how Koladwip Sridhar, he is not a rich person, not a learned and scholarly person, but still he was so much favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I will tell you briefly about how fortunate Koladwip Sridhar was. Even if he was just a banana, I know banana, he is selling, he is a businessman. And what kind of business? He was just selling some banana products like banana leaves and some banana flowers, things like this, sitting at the street corner. That was his business. And how much profit he would make? That time in Nabadwip, every house they have banana trees. Just imagine a banana leaf, banana flowers, banana business, what kind of productive business, profitable business it would be. But that was his livelihood. And interestingly, he was such a perfect grihastha. What he was doing, whatever he was earning from his business, 50% he will do Ganga Puja. 10 paisa business, the 5% he will do Ganga Puja. He was such a strict follower of grihastha dharma. So the point is, he had his shop at the corner, street corner, on one side of the street, and good fortune came to him. Even if he was just a banana leaf seller, good fortune came to him when Nimai, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he used to come to the marketplace to buy banana leaves, banana flowers, etc. from him. So it has been described in Chaitanya Bhagavat that Mahaprabhu Nimai would come to Sridhar's shop, and Sridhar is a very truthful person. When Nimai asks how much is the cost, he would say whatever cost, the real cost. He is not a person who will tell something high price, then people do bargaining, then reduce. He is not a fixed rate, fixed price. And when he tells that, then Nimai will start doing bargaining. Whatever price that Kalavacha Sridhar will quote, Nimai will say 50% less than that. Then he would be always doing bargaining. Then Kalavacha Sridhar would say, no, I will not give you. You go to other shop, there are so many other shops. Why don't you go there? Nimai said, no, you are my daily supplier. How should I go to other shop? You must give me. So in this way, Nimai would take things from his basket, from Kalavacha Sridhar's basket, and Kalavacha Sridhar by force would take away all the vegetables, banana and flowers, everything from his jar and put back in the basket. And at one point, Mahaprabhu told, Nimai told, Hare Sridhar, I know you are a very rich person. Externally you are showing you are poor. You have a lot of wealth. I know every day you are worshipping Ganga Devi. Are don't you know who is this Ganga Devi? I am husband of Ganga Devi. Ganga Devi is coming from a lotus feet, and you are not giving me. You are using your money for worshipping Ganga, who is coming from a lotus feet, and I am not getting those things. When Sridhar does not know who is Gauranga, who is Nimai, all he knows Nimai is a naughty boy. He just showing to everybody how scholar he is, because Nimai was enjoying Vidyarasa, like Pandit. So that is what Kalavacha Sridhar knows, that is Nimai is. He doesn't know his Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then when Nimai said that Ganga is coming from a lotus feet, then immediately Sridhar, Kalavacha Sridhar closed his ears. Oh, Sri Vishnu, don't speak like this. He got so disgusted with Nimai to hear this. Then he said, okay, you take all this free. You take this and get out from here. Then he said, I gave you this, still you are not happy? No, now I am very happy, Then Nimai would take and go. And every day Nimai would come and he would buy something after quite good time by doing arguments with his Sridhar. So one day, when Nimai, Vishwambhar or Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he went to Gaya for Pitru Shraddha. So after coming back from Gaya, when Nimai life had completely transformed, he took darshan of lotus feet of Vishnu, and he took initiation from Ishvara Paripad. And on the way back, Gauranga Mahaprabhu saw Lord Krishna face to face at Kanai Narsala. Tamal Samal Eka Balaka Sundar, beautiful blue form of Lord Krishna playing on flute, while smiling, approaching Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Then all of a sudden disappeared. So from that time, Gauranga Mahaprabhu was always feeling separation. He developed mood of separation. Because Gauranga Mahaprabhu is Krishna with the mood of Srimati Radharani. So from that day, all Vaishnavas started to join Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Prior to that, Vaishnavas were not so fond of Nimai, because Nimai was very much proud of his learnings, his panditya. But when he came back, he was completely different personality. Very sober, very humble, his attitude was completely different. So then all the Vaishnavas gathered, and then finally in due course of time, this Nimai, he started this Hare Krishna movement, Sankirtan. So every day night, they used to have huge Sankirtan. For whole night, they used to have Sankirtan. all devotees they gather chanting and dancing, ecstatic chanting and dancing in the house of Srivas, Srivas Thakur. And Mahaprabhu sometimes should get in the mood that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one day, Mahaprabhu said, go, bring Sridhar. Tell Sridhar to come. Then Mahaprabhu said, who is Sridhar? Who knows Sridhar? The vendor sitting on the street corners. Who knows Sridhar? Then you go to the end of the village. Wherever you will hear somebody chanting loudly the holy name, bring him, he is Sridhar. As Sridhar is a poor man, very much devoted to Krishna. Whole night he gets so much ecstasy. He would chant in ecstasy the holy name. But neighborhood people, they don't understand. They think this fellow is a poor fellow. He is getting too hungry. So he gets stomach pain. To become free from his hunger, from stomach pain, he is chanting loudly. More night would progress, he would chant more loudly, more loudly. So people would become very angry that we cannot sleep. This fellow is so loudly making sound like this. But Sridhar was indifferent. He would continue chanting the holy name. So by the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, these people they went, devotees they ran. In the end of the village, they could hear the chanting of holy name. And they knocked at the door of Sridhar. And when Sridhar opened the door, oh Sridhar, you are so fortunate. Come quickly. Gauranga Mahaprabhu wants to see you, give his blessings to you. And as soon as Sridhar heard that Gauranga Mahaprabhu to see him, he was in so much ecstasy, he fainted on the ground. Oh, Mahaprabhu wants to see me. He is so merciful. I am such an insignificant personality. He is remembering about me. Such an insignificant personality like me. He fainted. Then people carried him and brought him in front of Gauranga Mahaprabhu in the house of Srivas Thakur. Then when he came back to external senses, Mahaprabhu showed him his transcendental form. Mahaprabhu asked Sridhar, Kalabata Sridhar, tell me, I want to give you some boon. What boon you want? I am very happy with you. I will make you king. No, I don't want to king. I will make you, give you Ashtasiddhi, give you position of Brahma. Whatever offering Mahaprabhu is giving. Say, no, I don't want all these things. I will give you liberation. Please don't try to cheat me like this. And what you want? I want no liberation. I want to birth again and again. But my appeal to you, my prayer to you, I beg you that let me become poor like this, poor vendor, selling banana leaves. And you with a transcendental form, I want that tall boy with Brahman thread, long hair, will come and he will be every day arguing with me, fighting with me to take my banana leaves, banana fruits and flowers from my basket, and I will be enjoying these pastimes life after life. That is what I want. So this is the mood of devotee. Na dhanang, na janang, na sundaring kavitang ba jagadisha kamay, mama janmani sare bhavatad bhaktir ahitikitoi. So he was thus blessed. Kalabecha Sridhar was blessed. So now that Kalabecha Sridhar, insignificant personality according to him, but the whole world is glorifying. And once also Mahaprabhu, when he went for Chandkaji house to defeat Chandkaji, thousands of devotees, and that when one night Vishwakarma, he dug 60 ponds, so all these people can drink water. One pond is still there, that land is there next to this is Kalabata Sridhar's house, and ISKCON has acquired this land now, now it is paddy field, it looks like a paddy field, but this was the pond before, and his house was there. And when Mahaprabhu went at one time, that time Mahaprabhu, he had some water in an iron pot, and Mahaprabhu, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he felt so ecstasy to get something from his devotee's house that Mahaprabhu took that water and started to drink, and Sridhar felt so bad and that Mahaprabhu is drinking water like this. But that is the nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If somebody has no devotion, even if that person will offer very opulent foodstuffs, he will not look back at them. But from devotee's house, whatever is there, the Lord's mind is there how to get. Because Bhagavan does not drink, does not eat something material, he eats and drinks only the love of his devotees. So this is the great fortune of Kalabacha Sridhar. So this is the place of Kalabacha Sridhar where he is residing. So we are all very, very fortunate. Still this place is here, though his house is not there, but at least we are sitting on this transcendental place, land where Kalabacha Sridhar was here. Mahaprabhu came here, so many sweet pastimes took place here. Thank you so much. Jai Nabadwip Dham Parikrama ki.
Hare Krishna. So now we are in Simantadwip, and we are the very house of the grandfather of Mahaprabhu. This is the house of Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur, the father of Sachi Mata. Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur was the resident of Sylhet division in Bangladesh. So many devotees from Sylhet, such as Srivas Thakur, Murari Gupta Prabhu, Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur, they all moved from Sylhet to Nabadwip. And Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur decided to live here in this very place. At that time, Ganga was flowing close by to this place. Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur had 2 sons and 2 daughters. The 2 daughters were Mother Sachi and Sarvajaya Devi. Mother Sachi got married to Jagannath Mishra, and Sarvajaya Devi got married to Chandrasekhar Acharya. We just came from the house of Chandrasekhar Acharya, where we saw Radha Kund, Shyam Kund, Govardhan, and the Samadhi and Bhajan Kutir of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. That is the house of Chandrasekhar Acharya. After Jagannath Mishra left this world, it was Chandrasekhar Acharya who took a lot of responsibility for Mahaprabhu. And naturally, this place being the grandfather's house, so we can imagine that Mahaprabhu would definitely visit here often. In Bengali, the word Mama Bari is very, very famous. Mama means Mahaprabhu's mother's brothers. This is where you get most pampered. The children in Bengali culture, they are most pampered in their mama body, means here. He had 2 mamas. Mahaprabhu had 2 mamas because Sachi Mata had 2 brothers. And this particular deity, Madan Gopal, this is the personal deity of Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur, These deities are more than 700-year-old deities. Means Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur got this deity from his relatives. Mahaprabhu appeared 500 years back. So just calculating, maybe Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur, you add another 60, 70 years, and this deity is said to be 700 years. So this is that very deity that was worshipped by Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur. And this place was inhabited by many, many aristocratic Brahmins. So if you just walk out and you walk to the village, you will see many, many old houses, hundreds and hundreds of years old houses are still here. Of course, they are all empty, not inhabited by anyone, because those people actually left from here now that they are living in Calcutta and other places. But the houses are here, and you can see those. So again, this is the Belpukur, the house of Mahaprabhu's grandfather, known as Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur. You can pay our respects to Madan Gopal deity, and then we move to the next place. Hare Krishna.
संयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव अहङ्काराय नमो नमः नमन्ति ऋषयो देवाः नमन्त्यप्सरसा गणाः नरा नमन्ति देवेशम्
Hare Krishna. We're in a very special place. Lord Shiva plays a very important role in the Dham, giving opportunities to the devotees to perform devotional service. And Lord Shiva has 5 heads. Therefore, he is known as Panchabhakra. His name is Panchabhakra Shiva. Incarnation of Sudarshan Chakra is Nimbarka Acharya, very, very powerful Acharya. Came to Nabadwip Dham in this very place and satisfied Lord Shiva by his penance and by his desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Through this pastime, we understand that any devotee who prays to Lord Shiva to be engaged in devotional service, Lord Shiva helps that particular devotee, and Lord Shiva is most pleased by those who actually want to serve Krishna. Lord Shiva, being very pleased by Nimbarka Acharya, requested Nimbarka to meditate in this forest here, because in this very forest, the 4 Kumaras, they are here meditating on the Supreme Lord. Hearing this instruction from Lord Shiva, Nimbarka Acharya meditated here, and he actually saw the 4 Kumaras. Who initiated him, Nimbarka Acharya, is initiated by the 4 Kumaras. Instructing Nimbarka Acharya to fully dedicate his life and soul to serving Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this place, Nimbarka Acharya worshipped Krishna and Srimati Radharani. Being pleased by Nimbarka Acharya's prayers and penance, Krishna actually appeared in this place to Nimbarka Acharya. While Nimbarka Acharya was seeing the most beautiful Lord, suddenly Radha and Krishna became Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu was very, very pleased with Nimbarka Acharya, and he gave him benediction that when I appear as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then you will also appear as Kesav Kasmiri Pandit. As you know that there is a beautiful pastime in Mahaprabhu where the Lord defeats the Digvijay Kesab Kashmiri Pandit on the bank of the Ganges. So that Kesab Kashmiri actually is Nimbarka Acharya, who is an incarnation of Sudarshan Chakra. There are also other pastimes that took place here that is related to Lord Shiva. The other devotees also came and begged Lord Shiva to appear in front of him. Lord Shiva appears in front of those devotees and Lord Shiva asks, "What benediction do you want?" Those devotees says, "My Lord, we don't know what is good for us. You please give us the best benediction that you feel is the best for us." And then of course Lord Shiva instructs those devotees to surrender their life to Krishna. So this is the place of Lord Shiva. You want to please Lord Shiva in the best way possible, then we must have the desire to serve Krishna. And if we have the desire to serve Krishna, then Lord Shiva will be very, very pleased. He'll be actually most pleased and he will help us to progress in our spiritual life. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So right now we are in Rudradwip. Even though Lord Shiva resides in many other islands of Nabadwip Dham, but this particular island is his own. 11 Rudras eternally resides here, chanting the name of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Shankaracharya is Lord Shiva's expansion. Shankaracharya appeared by the will of the Lord to propagate Mayavad philosophy. In order to do that, Shankaracharya also came here to spread Mayavad philosophy. The moment Shankaracharya arrived here, Mahaprabhu appeared to him and told him that by my desire you are spreading Mayavad philosophy in other places, but please do not spread Mayavad philosophy in Nabadwip Dham. There is no place for you here in Nabadwip Dham. Please spread Mayavad philosophy somewhere else, not in Nabadwip Dham. And the place where we are standing is called Nidaya Ghat. Nirdaya or Nidaya means no mercy, heartless. Because this is the place where Mahaprabhu actually left Nabadwip Dham and went to Katwa to take sannyas from Kesab Bharati Maharaj. As you can see, Mother Ganga, at that time Ganga was a little bit more back. So Mahaprabhu came here and he swam across to Katwa, leaving the inhabitants of Nabadvip pathetically crying in separation of the Lord. Because this particular ghat let the Lord go to Katwa to take sannyas, therefore the devotees, Mother Sachi and others, named this ghat as Nirdaya or Nidaya.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, to make this virtual Kartik Nabadwip Mandala Parikrama available to all of you. It took a lot of effort. If you are inspired to contribute for this Kartik Nabadwip Mandala Parikrama, kindly do so. The details are in the description.
Krishna